Hey, what's going on? It's your boy BT, and I came here to talk some boxing with the thousands of True School Sports subscribers. What's going on, guys? Now, word to my brethren in Kazakhstan. Speaking of, or not Kazakhstan, was it? No, Ukraine, my bad. Ukraine. Shout out to the Ukraine. Wanted to do this video because last weekend we had the Oleksandr Gvozdyk, Lomachenko, Gvozdyk card, that whole card where they featured the three members of what is arguably, I would say, is if it's not the greatest Olympic team of all time, it's definitely in the top two or three. That Ukrainian national team, Lomachenko, Usyk, and Gvozdyk, it's right up there. Now, with that being said, a lot of people walked away from that night. They were very impressed with Lomachenko, as they should. They walked away very impressed with Usyk, as they should. But to me, the most impressive out of the three on the night was, for me, no question, Oleksandr Gvozdyk. This is my third time watching him fight. After hearing just so much about him, he wowed me. He was very impressive on the Kovalev Ward undercard in stopping Isaac Chilemba, and then now you come back and you fight a guy in Yuniesky Gonzalez, another tough veteran that top guys in the division have fought before. You've had Shabransky fight this guy. You've had Pascal fight this guy at one point. And he's once again made easy work of another name in the division. So I'm looking at his last four fights. I'm looking at Gvozdyk's last four fights. He knocked out Najib Mohammadi, a guy that it's not a special talent or nothing like that, but he's been around the division, top 15 caliber ish fighter at one point in his career. Tommy Karpency, another guy, veteran fighter, stopped him. I'm not sure if Tommy Karpency's been stopped other than Donna Stevenson. I'm sure he's gone. Okay, yeah, now Tommy Karpency's been stopped 3 times. So, but still a good win for him against Tommy Karpency. Hold on a second. Hold on. So yeah, he stops Tommy Karpency and then comes back the next fight, and I think he really put himself on the map when he stopped Isaac Chilemba, because Chilemba is even now, I don't know about now, but he was before the fight, he's still a bona fide top 10 guy, I'm pretty sure. And Isaac Chilemba has been a guy that's very crafty. He's given guys like Kovalev problems. Kovalev didn't even stop Chilemba. A lot of people criticize Kovalev for not getting Chilemba out of there. And Gvozdyk went in there when he fought him, and he was piecing this dude up left and right. So, I'm looking at how he's been stepping it up. I'm looking at the amateur pedigree. I'm looking at more so his skill set. The fact that this guy is long. He's rangy. He's got foot speed. He's athletic. Gvozdyk is the real deal, and I'm looking at 175 as right. It's coming up, man. It might be the most stacked division in boxing. It's really coming up. When you factor in the cream of the crop of the division in the eyes of many, which is Kovalev and Ward. They're fighting soon. Then you have guys like Artur Beterbiev, and you got Adonis Stevenson from Farah, Joe Smith Jr. A ton of guys, Sullivan Barrera, Shawnee Monahan. The division is loaded with talent, and I think it's one of the more interesting divisions. I think when it's all said and done and the dust clears, because to be honest, whether Ward wins his next fight or loses his next fight, I think he's made it clear in many regards that he doesn't have too many fights left, and he's on the older side of his career anyway. So I'm not too sure how much longer Ward will be in the picture, whether he wins or not. But after that, I think Gvozdyk has a great chance, as good as anybody in this division, to not just be a champion, but be a dominant one, a unified champion, a guy that you look at and you say, wow, that's someone that's the kingpin of this division. He's one of those guys, and unlike a lot of these, sometimes with these foreign fighters, when they come here and they get a couple, impressive wins. Some of us, and I'm guilty of this as well, sometimes happens, I do it as well. Sometimes we get a little enamored, and then they step it up, and then they don't look so good. It happened with Shabransky. So, with that being said, I think you can't really compare Gvozdyk to a lot of the other European fighters. For one, He's shown a level of athleticism that most of them don't have. Two, he's got great skill set, A level potential all the way, with his ranginess, with his jab, with his foot speed, and obviously his power. He's sported an 85% knockout percentage through 13 fights. So, you look at this guy, maybe in the next year and a half or so, and he's gonna get a crack at one of these champions. Because I'm looking at where he's ranked in these sanctioning bodies. He's Gvozdyk's number 6 in the WBC. He's number 7 by the IBF and number 6 in the WBO. So this guy's coming up the rankings. And if I'm a champion, I'm a title holder. This is not a guy that I want to see. And if I do have to fight him, and it becomes my mandatory, get it out the way as soon as possible, because he's just getting better and better and better every fight. So I just want to give Oleksandr Gvozdyk some love, because the guy is I didn't get a chance to really do an individual video on him, but the guy has definitely impressed me. And I would say out of the three, Lomachenko, Usyk, and Gvozdyk, to me his career path is the most interesting one, because unlike Loma and unlike Usyk, I feel his division is truly deeper than those guys, and I think he's gonna have a harder time to become dominant, than those guys would, because just the top of 175 is tough. You look at Ward, Kovalev, Adonis Stevenson, Arthur Beterbiev. Those 4 guys alone, I mean, he's gonna have those are true 50-50 fights. And you look at some of the other guys, maybe on the lesser side, like Joe Smith Jr., Fanfara, guys that nature. Those are still tough out in the division. So I just feel, for me, he has the harder role because of the division he fights in. But that to make it all more interesting. Not to say that Usyk doesn't fight in a tough division, because cruiserweight's right up there too. But I feel cruiserweight's not as top heavy as far as talent as 175. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, Oleksandr Gvozdyk probably gonna get a world title shot probably next year and a half or so. So be on the lookout for him, as we've been put on notice multiple times already. If you don't know already, I'll be the first to let you know. Oleksandr Gvozdyk is coming for a world title real soon, and we'll see if he can rise to the occasion. If he keeps getting better, because sometimes guys, they look impressed for a few fights early on, they get to that world championship level and they bottle it. So we'll keep our eyes out on Mr. Oleksandr Gvozdyk. But let me know what you guys think. What do you think about Oleksandr Gvozdyk? I think he has all the tools to be a unified champion at some point. I really do believe that from what I've seen. And the fact that he's in the Robert Garcia, he has Robert Garcia in his corner. He's always working with Robert Garcia. They have a lot of talent in that gym, a lot of good sparring, a good environment. That plays a big role into a fighter's success, and I would, for that reason, that's another reason I have a lot of confidence in him. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. Oleksandr Gvozdyk, what do you make of him so far? What did you make of his last performance against Yunieski Gonzalez? And do you think he becomes a world champion in the next year and a half? I believe so wholeheartedly. But let me know in the comments down below. Take the time to subscribe, and you can love me or you can hate me, but I'm just a kid from Dania. So until next time, take care, guys.